on, guys? It's Colby Martin from BacklogGaming.com. It's Test Drive Tuesday. Yep, that's right. A little late, I apologize, but better late than never. We're here playing a little F1 2013 on the Xbox 360. I apologize if the video quality is a little funky. Something was going on with my capture card. Hopefully it turns out alright for all of you. But yeah, we're driving the Mercedes Petronas with Nico Rosberg. We're starting P4, and that's how it's going to rock and roll. But the F1 car is a unique monster, and that's the whole point of these shows, is to talk about why each game is unique and enjoyable in itself. Last week, played Forza. Didn't do it this style, but we will here. As you can tell straight off the bat, the Formula 1 car, a little tough to handle. I do have traction control turned on. Same with anti-lock brakes and a driving line. This in-car camera makes it even tougher to see what's going on. Your field of vision is really narrow. You can't really see what's going on around you. If you get a triple screen going on, triple monitor, good for you. You can see a lot, but it is tough from down here. I'm not going to race the whole race like this, but turning around these corners in Bahrain, it's tough to see when people do get next to you. Especially that first corner there where everyone's bunched up and it's real tight. You can see, but it is a struggle. Try to use the mirrors as best you can. See, I got a little bit too much horsepower on that one. Got the throttle down a little too hard. I really wanted to jump out there and stay in front of Kimi Räikkönen, who was driving the Renault, the Lotus there. Sorry, it's a Renault powered by Lotus, I suppose, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since it's been in that car, but I keep out in front of them and keep it going. You'll notice every once in a while when you drive these Formula 1 cars, the rear end does get loose real easy. It's easy to throw it around the corner if you're not used to the proper techniques of driving or using the right amount of throttle. Can be tough. Make sure to use the curves when you leave the corners. You hold down the left bumper. I think it's L1 on the PS3. Whatever your button designation is on the PC, but be sure to use it leaving the corners. It's going to sometimes cause a little bit more of a hassle in terms of handling the acceleration of a corner, but at the same time, that's how you're going to get the most launch potential and be able to stay in front of the car behind you. Now you can see Fernando Alonso, who's in the Ferrari, is pulling away from me just a little bit. The gap, a few seconds. Not a whole lot, but enough. It's enough to keep me from being able to pass him. And I'm maintaining reasonable distance from Räikkönen. Not the greatest. But Nico Rosberg's car here, I get a little bit of a bad angle. That's why I use the driving line, so I can see where I'm at on tracks I'm not 100% familiar with. I do know Bahrain better than most courses, but I'm not as good at this course as, say, Australia. Well, I guess it's Melbourne. Or Brazil, or Malaysia. I'm pretty decent at without the driving lines and such. But yeah, here, good handle of the corner. I knew where I was at. This cockpit camera makes it really difficult sometimes, like I said, to know where you're at in the track. Sometimes the braking depth, the depth perception is not the same, and it's a struggle to hit it. So see, like the brake here, I broke a little early because I felt like I was coming up on it closer. And again, on the acceleration out of the corner. This Test Drive Tuesday is a lot of fun for me. I love it. I'm having a blast playing different racing games. I was going to do Gran Turismo this week and talk about driving the Delta Wing, but I wasn't able to because I had some problems with my capture card. So the capture device is being a bugger. Yeah, the FPS on this, it's kind of blurry. I don't know if the final project will look like this, but right now what I'm seeing is really bad. So I do apologize. So as you can see, I switched over to the TV cockpit, a little TV camera. It is helping me a little bit. I'm able to gain time and hit the corners a little bit better. If you're a rookie to this game and you've never played a Formula 1 game before, I highly suggest that you use this camera angle. It makes things a lot better, a lot easier to see where you're out on the track. And sometimes it's much easier to just really do anything in a Formula 1 game from this camera angle. I really suggest this in any type of racing game whether it be F1 or NASCAR, use a hood camera. Use something that you can see the front end of the car. It still gives you that same perception of being in the car and still adds to the realism, but at the same time, it kind of gives you an advantage to know where you're at on the track. If you see all the times there, I've gone purple in the last 2 sectors. That means I'm on a flyer. I'm the fastest. It's a personal best, and it's usually the best of the entire race. And then I go again, 2 seconds faster than the best lap of the race or the general pace of the race. So fast lap set right there. As you can see, I set the fast lap, and I get around Alonso. I was waiting for it to refresh there, but I did get around him going into turn 1. I outbroke him, late break. You know, use that judgment factor, but usually somewhere between the 200 and 100 meter board, that's where you're going to want to brake. So if you don't have the green and red lines showing up for the driving lines, make sure you know where you're braking at. That way you can really hit the right corner. Other than that, as these last 2 laps go by, kind of the technique of driving and racing, I'll probably discuss a little bit about how good F1 2013 is, because I did get to the party kind of late. You know, it's the 2014 season already in Formula 1. And, you know, new cars, new engines, new everything. It's really kind of cool. I can't wait to see what the product that the Codemaster puts out. I hope they bring it out on the new gen game systems. So PS4, Xbox One, that's what I want to see them on. I don't want to play another season of Formula 1 on my 360 or my PS3. I'm going to play them on the new systems, because I think there's a lot of things that they can do that they haven't been able to do on this. They have a wonderful weather model. The rain, the driving in the rain is one of the best factors, or the best situations ever. Realistically, it's amazing, the driving mechanic in that. I've never been able to put a finger on how awesome it is to race in the rain in a Codemasters F1 game versus any other rain factored game. Anything that has rain in the racing, no one does it as good as Codemasters, and it's just, I can't wait to see what they do on the next gen. I hope it's just even better. I hope we see all new things. I hope we see more damage model. I'd like to see more things break. I know a Formula 1 car doesn't really break much. If you watch the race at Bahrain this weekend, that big wreck with, oh gosh, I can't remember who it was now, but he flipped his car. It was Esteban Gutierrez. I think that's right. He flipped, and if you watch like the TV pod, which is where this camera was at on this car, and the wheels broke, and I think a mirror fell off. But I mean, he flipped the car, and that's all that was destroyed. So it's really probably a good thing what Codemasters has done in this with the damage model. I don't know if it will get much better for realism, but some things could change. But I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what happens. So as we wrap up, guys, I thank you so much for watching. I know these Test Drive Tuesdays are still a work in progress. I'm trying to figure out exactly how it is I want to do it. So give me some feedback if you like this method, or you just want to let me or tell me to talk about something interesting. And apologize again for the video quality. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @BackToLawGame. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more. And I will see you next Tuesday for another Test Drive Tuesday.